Yes, it is the season of transfers and players are moving to clubs where they would be able to secure regular playing times. For some, it is all about the paycheck. Reason the likes of Sadio Mane are up for a move to Bayern Munich. On this note, I bid you welcome to another loaded episode of Sports Thing. The guys are here in the studio. Faruk, Adetola, sports member, as well as Dotun, Agumbiade. Today is definitely going to be a loaded one. We'll be talking about Romelu Lukaku and his spell at Chelsea Football Club. We'll go on a break at this point, and when we return, the show takes full shape. Stay with us. Yes, if you're just joining us, my name is Matthew Kugbe and the show is Sports Thing. What we do on this platform is to set the table for discourse on topical sporting issues or story, whichever way you want to put it. The guys are here in the studio and they are set. Today we'll be looking at Romelu Lukaku's second spell at Chelsea. He's on his way back to Inter Milan. Inter Milan, a club he said he loves so much, same as Chelsea. Has he been a success? Has he been a success at Chelsea in this second spell, or a failure? And with me in the studio is Dotun Agumbiade as well as Faruk Adetola, the sports member.
Well, it feels good to be here once again to dissect, analyze, and also make this young man understand that the topic we are ready to battle is always going to be in my favor.
Yes, the one that comes that known as the warrior. This guy is already showing some buga.
You know, sometimes when you come with a lot of talk, you have nothing to offer. Mm-hmm. You know, they say that talk is cheap, and to actually put your action is very difficult.
Yes, definitely. The guys are set for plenty of action. Romelu Lukaku's second spell at Chelsea, he had failed to be able to hit the ground running. 15 goals in total, thereabouts, and several persons feel the manager failed to play to his strength. And let me start with you, Faruk. Yeah. Lukaku, one player that go back to Chelsea with plenty of balls.
Yes.
Remember the tag unfinished business.
Yeah.
As at this point in time, was he able to justify his return back to the side?
Well, it's very easy for us to look at the numbers and say that Romelu Lukaku has failed as a Chelsea player. But if you want to be sincere with yourself, you know, international-wise, what he has done at other clubs before coming to Chelsea, you want to say that Chelsea has been the one that has failed Romelu Lukaku. And I'll just put it in perspective. At West Brom Albion, where little or nothing is at stake, he is banging goals, reckless abandon. Same as Everton, where he set a lot of record as an Everton player. Moved to United, yes, they didn't quite finish quite well, but they have scored 42 goals in close to 100 appearances. Shows that you are a man on a mission. They went to Inter Milan as well, got them back to where they want to be. And the second spell, he finished as the best player in the Italian Serie A, where we had Ronaldo, where we had players like Edin Dzeko and so many strikers there. And it was the brightest as far as scoring goals is concerned. Came back to Chelsea, and the coach was not flexible enough to adjust to a record signing of £97.5 million. If you have a player like that on your payroll, on your field of play, you have to dance to the tune. That is why players like Mbappe will always be that giant elephant in the room. So for me, Romelu Lukaku has not failed as a Chelsea player, but Chelsea, in that regard, has failed him. That's why they finished third in the league, as well as being dumped out of the Champions League. You want to talk about his contribution to the Champions League? You want to say Romelu Lukaku is a man that has vindicated himself. Chelsea has failed him.
Yes, talking about Chelsea failing Romelu Lukaku, but one man I know definitely would want to disagree is Dotun. Has Lukaku really justified his return to the club?
Let me start from where he stopped the other time, talking about what Romelu Lukaku was able to do in lower clubs. He mentioned West Bromwich Albion the other time, talking about he was able to score many goals, Everton Football Club. You want to compare these two clubs to a team like Chelsea, who last season won the Champions League, last season rather, won the Champions League without a striker. And you are talking about this same Romelu Lukaku that went to the Italian Serie A, a team that you will come to experience low pace, low energy, low power when it's in terms of play. And him returning to Chelsea Football Club in English Premier League, where you get the firepower, where you get the energy, where you get the zeal and everything to play for definitely you have come to agree with me that this young man has failed totally in Chelsea, coming in this second spell of his in the football club, because the club itself, without a striker, won the Champions League. And if him, with all of this noise and power and money around him, he can actually not come with something better to the club, definitely he has failed the club, not the club failing him, as Faruk has actually said on the other side.
Yes, Faruk, let me come back to you. We've seen what Lukaku was able to bring to the plate. Will you agree with those who are of the opinion that the pace he struggled with the pace of the Premier League compared to what was obtainable in the Serie A where he came from?
When this man was scoring double figures, which pace was he playing with Manchester United?
Is age not a factor?
It's never age. Look at his record with Belgium. It is very, very simple. For you to have a player,
you cannot compare national team to a football.
You ran over 2 minutes just that. There was no single point. Why
you are talking about no single point?
You had no single point.
Romelu Lukaku in West
you said Chelsea playing without a striker in the Champions League. What is Timo Werner?
Timo Werner was not an out striker.
Come on.
He's a forward, but not an out striker.
Don't give me that. I'm not going to buy that from you. Dotun, it's very, very simple. Lukaku played in Italian Serie A. Let's allow to come here and say Italian Serie A is this and that.
No. It comes with low pace. It comes with low power.
It's not about pace. There are so many players in the Premier League have got no pace at all. But they succeed. If you're talking about pace and power all the time, if you're talking about pace and power about football, that means that Cameroon should win the World Cup all the time.
No.
Football is about technicality. Football is about system. If you put the player in the wrong system, it will never work.
Faruk, hold on. Dotun, let me come to you on this. What will you make of those who feels Tuchel failed to play to Lukaku's strength? Don't you think the formation where you have players who naturally do not play with an out-and-out striker coming to see how they will be able to build the team behind the Lukaku, do you think the coach also should get some part of the blame?
I'm not going to blame the coach here. Why I said I'm not going to blame the coach here is the fact that even if the coach is not playing to your strength, you are a professional. That's why you are called
even at that, Lukaku is still the top striker, top goal scorer in that club.
Yes.
And he has not played to his strength.
With the plenty games he had.
How many games?
He played more than all other strikers.
It's a lie.
He played up
there
to 30
was a time Lukaku was not playing for close to 2 months when he had a problem with the coach. Lukaku still finished as the top striker, top goal scorer in that team where they were struggling. You got a guy. See, it's very, very simple. You bought a guy for £97 million. Let him
hold on. For them to
just unleash him. Unleash him to the defense of any team. Lukaku is a go-getter. He's a perfect goal scorer.
When he played against Arsenal and he got the goals and he bullied all the Arsenal defenders, everybody around the world were saying Lukaku has come and Chelsea has actually come to benefit from what the dividend, the money they actually invested in.
Can you
analyze
that match?
He actually
look at everything went through Lukaku. If you watch that match very well, you know that game was centered around Lukaku.
Of course.
The build-up of play, the finishing was all around him. But when other players got selfish.
Afterward, the play was not centered around Lukaku.
It wasn't. That was why Lukaku went a single match, had just 7 touches. If a game was centered around him, would a striker have 7 touches?
When you're talking about the game not built around a player, definitely you have to actually force the play. Look at Osimhen of Nigeria. When the play is even at the middle, even at his own defense, talking about the third part of his own team, he will fall back to even pick up.
And how many goals he scored at Napoli?
No.
Even at that.
At Napoli, he scored up to 19 goals last season.
19 goals.
Yes, it's not competition.
Guys,
he scored up to 19 goals.
Guys, I would advise you save your shots. We'll go on a break at this point, and when we return to be the quick fire segment, stay with us. Wow, it's been a heated one as far as the first half of the show is concerned. The guys really have given plenty of shots, and it's now the quick fire segment. Remember, you can also be part of this conversation. Visit all our social media platforms screen on your screen at this point in time, or just hit on the comment section while you're watching this, and also let us know as Lukaku being a failure in his second spell at Chelsea, or the coach really didn't do plenty to support him as far as he stay with the club is concerned. And Sports Mamba, let's come to you. Your quick shots. 3 reasons precisely why you are taking your stance on Lukaku being a success at the club?
Well, it's very, very simple. Chelsea finished the season without winning any major thing. That's because they have failed to play alongside the strength of Lukaku. Lukaku has been the high goal scorer in Italy before. He also finished as one of the best goal scorers in England in his record. Check his record as a Belgium striker. This guy is a force to record with any time. And for me, Chelsea needs to understand that once you buy a player for as huge as that price, you need to be expressive with him, especially when the player is a striker. Look at Haaland. That is what is at Chelsea right about now. They know that the importance of a striker is huge. That is why they have failed to win the Champions League. So play through this striker. I'm sure you guys will always enjoy Lukaku.
Yes, Lukaku, at this point in time, is already looking at Inter and saying, here I come, I'm back home. How do you feel Lukaku is justified going back to Inter, and he has been able to justify the paycheck he got from Chelsea?
No, he never justified the paycheck he got from Chelsea, and that is number one.
Remember, is your quick fire?
No. Yes, of course. And number two, the thing that they never played around him, it is very, very wrong. They allowed him to play, but they're actually not putting up good shows. That is why he was put on the bench by the coach. And the third one is when they pay FTD to get you into a club, you need to show FT games to be on the field.
Yes, you must be able to replicate the confidence given to you by the club side, especially if you're a player of the magnitude of Romelu Lukaku. Remember, we are not alone. You are also part of the conversation. Hit us up on the comment section or any of our social media platforms scrolling on your screen at this point in time, and let us know, has Lukaku been a failure in the second spell at Chelsea, or will he also go to Inter Milan and be able to justify that yes, Chelsea failed me, I did not fail that club. We're going to break at this point, and when we return, it will be the flip side segment of the show. Stay with us. Yes, we're back on the home front, and this time around we'll be looking at the Super Eagles and the performance of the team under new gaffer Jose Pizarro. The team has played 4 games under his tutelage. They've won 2 and also lost 2. They played against Ecuador and Mexico, 2 friendly games in the United States, and also won against Sierra Leone in Abuja, as well as annihilated Sao Tome and Principe by 10 goals to 0 in the qualifiers for the 2023 AFCON. Let me come to you at this point in time, Faruk. We've seen the performance of the coach. Yeah. It's no longer the quick fire segment. It's no longer the head-to-head. We just want your very objective analysis. You think the manager started well and we should be celebrating?
Well, honestly, I won't say we should start celebrating, but to be honest, it's a good start. You ask me, for the friendlies, he was just trying to fine-tune himself, and considering the little time he had to play the boys, and also the environment he played away from home, I think that they did quite well. And looking back at what he has done here in the qualifiers, the 2 against Sierra Leone was a thorn in our flesh last time we played against them, from 4 goals up. 4-4, was able to come back from a goal down to beat them 2 goals to 1, and against a higher player team in South Sudan principle, you hand them what you can hand them. If a team opens up for you, you go in as hard as possible. So there's nothing bad in scoring 10 goals. It was what they presented for us, and we did quite well. I think it's a good start, to be honest, but there's a lot of room for improvement. If I'm going to score him, I'll give you a 7/10 so far, so good.
7/10 so far, but some persons are of the opinion that despite scoring 10 goals, that in the first half of the game against Sao Tome and Principe, we tend to struggle before we were able to gather momentum and begin to score plenty. Shouldn't that be a cause for concern at this point?
Okay, I will not come to say that he has failed as a manager of the Nigerian national team, and I will not come to shower accolades on him, owing to the fact that the first 4 games he has been in charge of the Nigerian national team. 2 in the United States of America. They lost the 2 games against Ecuador. It was a poor performance on the side of the Nigerian national team. Against Mexico, they actually put up a very good show, though they never won the game. Then they came back home, they played against Sierra Leone. Like we said the other time, the last time we played against them, it ended in a 4-4 draw. And this time around, they were able to come from a goal down to got the better of them by 2 goals to 1. And going up against Sao Tome and Principe, they won by 10 goals to 0. It was expected, owing to the fact that they are a lonely side, they are not a less fancy side, let me just call it like that. They've not been among the best team when it comes to play.
Dotun, my question to you is this: is there something to celebrate? That's what I want to hear. Is it time for us to?
We should not actually jump to dance at the moment to start celebrating that we've gotten the manager. But let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's watch the next 2 or 3 games and see what he can actually come with. The tactics.
To a large extent, I think we can celebrate, honestly, because if you look at where we're coming from, you were so disappointed after the Nations Cup, the World Cup qualifier. But a lot of people are saying that scoring 10 goals is against Dotun and Principe. We have played against a far worse team. Have we been able to even conjure up scoring goals from every kind of angle? I was scored from free kick, one was scored from a corner kick. Our play was impressive, and it shows that the coach has a deliberate method of approaching the game. Yes, you can't say that we are all done and dusted, but I feel that there's something around this coach that shows a positive aura. He has been to Kwara to go and watch some MPFL game, a good start, so far so good. But if you have to celebrate, honestly, I will celebrate the 10 goal advantage over any team. Forget South and Principe. I mean anybody. We have
no, I'm not talking down.
There's something for us to celebrate about.
I only offer this, that we should not actually jump up to the party and start dancing at this.
So let's dance. It's a record. It's a new record.
It's a new record.
So let's dance.
But we need to actually take it because we look at the situation as they unfold.
So my question to you is this: Osimhen got 4 goals in that game. I don't know the last time a Super Eagles player, a striker in the colours of the Super Eagles got an hat-trick, let alone 4 goals. Will you say there is this formation, this support? Because we've always clamoured for support for Osimhen. Will you say the tactical inputs or the filing out of the players on the basis of the instruction of the manager has really come to bring about the beasts that we know in Osimhen?
To a large extent, I would say yes. Like you said the other time, it's coming from the corner kick, from all the dead ball situation we had in that game. They utilized them very well. I can actually say that the coach did actually work on them during the course of the training. But we still need to keep a closer look at the situations one after the other. Look at the improvement in the defense. Look at the improvement in the midfield, at the middle of the park, and also look at the third hand, talking about the striking position, and see what they can actually do in the next couple of games. Then we begin to celebrate.
Yes, as we gradually round up your final thoughts for as far as the Super Eagles is concerned, remember in the next window, the likes of Wilfred Ndidi should be returning back to the team, and a couple of other players who are away at this point in time. But we saw the combination of a Victor Osimhen and the other young man who got a brace in that game. His name eluded me at this point. Do you think the coach will get to struggle at some point when more qualities begin to come? Because that has always been the problem of the local coaches.
First and foremost, you only clear the hurdle in front of you. You won't say because this hurdle is short, then you have to say, I'll take it with levity. But I feel that we can only get better. There are still so many quality players that are not currently in that team, and that will give this man a headache. Because we have started very well, we want to stick with the formula. But at times, you have to also refresh and bring in 1 or 2 players just to make sure that the team is always thick and very, very fast. I feel that the future is bright, and when players like Wilfred Ndidi comes into
Kelechi
Iheanacho and some other players are not still in the team, I'm very sure we will get better. But there's something positive about this team. I can't really specify right about now, but I feel that we will only get better. He said he's come here to come and win our 4th Nations Cup. He said it specifically. And when people come out to state their objective, they always eat it at the end of the day.
And my your final shots at this point in time, as Francis Uzor claimed the #1 shirt, has he justified his claim? Remember, the other young man, Maduka Okoye, chickened out as a result of pressure from Nigerians, and he said he should be excused from the national team. Will you start a Francis Uzor ahead of and Okoye when he finally returns to the team?
I would not say yes to that. It all depends on what the coach wants. You're actually going to take a look at the two goalkeepers, look at what he wants in them. Sometimes the coaches desire a goalkeeper who can kick the ball with his leg and actually command play from the back from his own hand, as in starting up play. Then if you look at it very well on the side of Maduka Okoye, saying that the national team should excuse him for a while, so the fact that he was receiving pressure here and there from loving Nigerians who actually loving Nigerians.
That's the loving. That's old style Nigerian.
But let me just quickly say,
drive this home. Will you start a Maduka Okoye ahead of a Francis Uzor after 4 games?
When it comes
quickly,
to reflex, actually, when it comes to the area ability, he has it also. For Maduka Okoye, I can see the command talking to his players and every other thing. That is what he has better than. So.
Yes, talking about the national team, we'll wish that the team would continue to do well and excel, especially in subsequent games. Faruk, it's been a pleasure having you on set.
Well, fantastic atmosphere here any day, anytime, and definitely let's do this again.
Talking about doing this again, Dotun.
Of course, we are always ready to do this.
Yes, if you enjoy this package of the show, ensure to keep a date with us for another loaded episode as far as posting is concerned. Remember, you can also be a part of the conversation. Hit us up on the comment section of this platform as at this point in time and all other social media platform on your screen. Remember, Sporting is a production of Sportsville Communication Services Limited. My name is Matthew Okugbe. Bye-bye now.